Ahem. I'm alive. I'm live. I'm alive. I'm also live. I really wish YouTube let you turn off the viewer count. Anyway, how's it going, VOD watchers? What was I going? What was I gonna say? You cannot predict the future. You should live in the present. If you succeed, then that's great. If you fail, then that's okay too, because you learned something and you gained experience that you can use in the future. Nothing else exists but the present moment. I'm gonna be honest. The anxiety, the voices in my head. It's been a little bad today. Mostly anxiety about the financial side of things, about, you know, pursuing commercial success in something like this. The shame of knowing that there's people who are just chilling and doing this as a hobby who are doing better than you. The uncertainty of the future. But I gotta make people care if I want to succeed. It's not gonna just happen. I gotta do this, I gotta put in the work. And there are people who care about me and actually do want me to succeed. And I'm thankful for that. Speaking of, t-shirt graphic, finally. I remember putting out my Vroid model like way back, like probably like a week after I started streaming or something. I was like, you know, in the future I want to put like a t-shirt design on this model, but I don't really know what t-shirt design, so I was like, okay, if anyone has any ideas, feel free to, you know, let me know. And then no one ever I didn't really ask outside of like that one video for, I don't know, people to give their input on like what t-shirt design I should have, but for the longest time this my Vroid model, and then this model, it's had the Costco hot dog on there, which is half for me, half because I love the Costco hot dog. But last night Raimi Ricotta drew a thing for me, and oh sorry, was it last night? It was, no, that was Wednesday night. Today is Friday. Today is Friday in California. Never been to Costco. Yo, welcome, Morgie. Also, thank you again for the emote that is on screen right now. This emote. Thank you. Anyway, this t-shirt design. Raimi drew it. Yeah. So thank you to Raimi. Dog, hello, Tony. Oh, thank you. I've talked about this on other streams, but I'm like really anxious about, I guess I'm just like not used to anyone giving me anything for this, but especially like art. That's like your time and effort and labor. And I feel a little anxious and bad about receiving that just for free, but thank you. But thank you. But yeah. I feel a little more reassured after, I don't know, chatting about it. Fan art, I'm fan. Thank you. That also makes me, one, glad, but two, I don't know. I think for the longest time I haven't really considered the thought that there are people who actually like me and like my content. I guess because, I don't know, I feel like I've been streaming to the not entirely to the void, but I've had streams where I was like, or like really like maybe one or two people were lurking and no one was really chatting before. But so I'm not used to this. I am very grateful that I have somewhat of an audience now, but I'm still aiming for greater heights. Cool shirt design. Whoever came up with that, genius and totally cool. Thank you too. Yeah, thank you also, Itoni, for suggesting that in Raimi's chat. It's pretty good. It looks pretty good. All right. Let's get back to where were we? What was I doing? What am I doing? The brain worms! My brain is full of worms! My brain is nothing but worms right now. But I got shit to do. I got a project that I actually feel excited about and I feel like has potential for, I don't know, the first time in a while. Which, I hope this isn't like too early to feel excited about this, but I do want to keep working on this. I do see potential in it. Just eat the worms! Alright, let me just scoop in there. Stick my hand in there and... if I had the 3D model. Although I guess with the tracking parameters, usually it's set to not clip into your head. Let me just reach in there and... give myself a lobotomy. Well, speaking of lobotomies, I was watching. I'm like in middle of season 4 on BoJack Horseman now, so I think this is like 1 or 2 episodes before where I stopped last time I was watching. So we are. It's a good show. It's a good show. It reminds me of, I don't know, a lot of things. I just got to the episode, the stupid piece of shit episode. The episode where it goes into BoJack's head, and in his head he's got the thought loops going, you're such a stupid piece of shit, fuck you. And I think it reminded me that I also need to be kinder to myself, that not exactly the same kind of self-loathing loops, more the anxious kind of what is going to happen in the future loops, but similar kind of thought loopy things. Anyway, where was I? I guess the other part is like, I guess my other concern with me being excited for a project like this is the potential for disappointment down the line if I don't, make it into something cool. But damn it, I want to work on something now. I have an idea in my head. I have multiple ideas in my head, and I'm somewhat excited about this. I need to strike while the iron's hot in terms of, I don't know, my passion for this, right? Right. Okay. I was just copying from my notes. I actually came up with a few more stuff, but I guess so I have this Google Doc, but I also have my Obsidian notes. Where was it? In the shower today. Item that increases all stats by percentage per enemies killed, but has a 0.5% chance of deleting the game if you die, and increases by 0.1% for every enemy killed. No, I like the idea of scaling items like that, like the ghost weapons in Rotato. Well, if it's like the banana, the Cavendish. Cavendish in Velatro, right? So it's a scaling item. It scales damage on kill. But then if it's an item that goes away, then that's like kind of weird. So hello, Icebox. I love YOLO items / weapons in games. Yeah, no, I like the idea of scaling items. Hold on, actually, yeah, let me put that in my notes. On kill, permanently increase this. Alright, funny scaling item. Start of combat, gain +X strength. On kill, permanently increase this item's stats. Start of combat stats by 0. Yeah, we can do like 0.1. I imagine like other items are gonna be more powerful or something. Who? I'm who? I'm the one you should be saying who. Brainworms are back. God damn. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Items. Okay, so the thoughts I had in the shower, in addition to my existing notes. The items, so I was taking inspiration from the Blattro's Jokers, right? And so in Blattro, you can only have 5 Jokers at a time, barring negative Jokers, other special effects. And so the idea is like, you have to switch out the Jokers every now and then. You're like, which one do I get rid of? Do I keep the one that is not giving me any benefit in scoring, but gives me money? Do I need the scoring now? Do I get rid of the one that gives me money? Do I get rid of this scoring Joker, or do I get rid of this other scoring Joker? And so I kind of want to have that dynamic too. And I was thinking about like, what would be like the theming of this? And I was thinking about the game is like, you are a talent manager and you're managing idols. So what if the items are like other managers or staff that you have on your team? So that's my idea for the theming. Poker for people with autism. Yeah. I love numbers. I love watching numbers go up. It's why I want to be a content creator. Why aren't the numbers going up? But yeah. Yeah, I've listened to a lot of like interviews with the Blatcher dev, and then I know he's talked about how the game's actually based on Big 2, which is a card game that uses poker hands that isn't poker, but he always calls it poker because that's the one that everyone knows. So anyway, I haven't played Blatcher in a while. Some of my friends are playing it. They're getting into it. One of my friends was like at Orange Steak, and I think I did like 2 runs or something. I did like 1 or 2 runs on stream and then 1 or 2 runs off stream. Anyway, counters, items. Why don't I just copy from my notes? Theming managers / staff. Notes. Notes. You see the Watcher mod that gives Jokers big naturals? I saw that. I did see that on Twitter. Big naturals. Or was it on Reddit? Whatever. And then the banana, which just has the banana with the bitties on it. Gold. Anyway, what was I doing? Is being distracted ADHD streamer brain good for creative work, or is it bad for coming up with ideas? Your well dog way. Hello, Chase the Rabbit. I was talking earlier about my brain worms that are still there, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay physically. Yo, Paulino, big naturals. Oh. Go watch Raimi's stream from Wednesday. Brainworms, Neo, never. Never. I would never. I would sometimes. I would. I might need to spend more time on mindfulness work, on meditating. That's your Nemo. Thank you. Thank you. Also, thank you, Morgie, for drawing it. Just eat the worms. Just eat the worms. Baste the rabbit. Based and rabbit pilled? Chased and rabbit pilled. Ugh. Oh yeah, I read on this. Economic versus combat strength. In Balatro, let's see. Have I never thought about that meme in relation to me before? Now you have it. You can steal that one for free. Here, you can take that one. Chased and Rabbitville. Let's see. In Balatro, you get money at end of round based on hands remaining. This gives economic bonus to builds with of scoring with more scoring jokers than economic jokers. So this is something I noticed and was thinking about. How this sort of like balances out in Balatro. So actually, first, another note here, bullet point, archetypes. So again, taking inspiration from Balatro, right? You have the economic jokers, you have like immediate scoring jokers, and then you have like scaling scoring jokers. And I guess this can also include like other forms of economy, e.g. levels, and then card modifiers, right? So in our game, we might have XP. Yeah, in our game, XP, items, and money, of course. Both money and other forms of... You have immediate bonus jokers like Jimbo Joker, Jimbo +4 mult. You know, the clubs jokers. You have like jokers that are direct upgrades to other jokers, but they're more rare, so the rarity plays into that too. And then you have like scaling bonus jokers. What's it? Ride the bus. The other one, you have the opposite, where it's like strong immediate bonus. We'll call them consumable jokers, right? Where it's strong immediate bonus that depreciates with time. You have like ramen, you have seltzer, you have banana's kind of like that, yeah. Cavendish. It fits with the theme. Again, looking for inspiration. Right? And so a lot of the interesting decision making comes from like, do I need immediate power, or do I need like long-term power if I'm going for like an endless run maybe? And of course, is my economy doing good? Do I have the money? Do I have interest? Yeah, there's a... It's like the line go up joker or something. So that's there too. And I say items, and I'm planning on having character items too. Right now in my notes I have them called gear, just because I can't think of a better name. I was watching a TFT tutorial. I was not actually playing TFT. I was watching a TFT tutorial to get some inspiration for the mechanics in TFT. And I think I did want to do character items, so I'm probably also going to do character items eventually, but I'm gonna implement these one at a time. Lol. Yeah. How to do this in There's no Autobattler. I'm still hesitant to like initialize this to like to like abbreviate this as PSA just because PSA is just so obviously associated with another initialism, but whatever, I need a short name. There was this Autobattler Godot tutorial I was doing a couple months ago, but left in the backlog. Oh yeah, I didn't actually look at any like Autobattler specific tutorials. Huh. Actually, no, I think I saw one on YouTube, but it was for a more like traditional like auto chess style than like the super auto pet style I wanted to go for. but I mean, it would probably have still had relevant stuff. How to do this in our game? So I was thinking use time remaining. It's like if there's a sudden death mechanic, there might be a clock or something that's relevant to or related to. Use team HP remaining. That's another option. Because that's a pretty direct indication of like how powerful your team is in relation to the enemy team, the NPC encounter or whatever. So I think I'll just leave that in for later. Do archetypes, economic, immediate bonus, scaling bonus, consumable, immediate bonus, bonus types. We already listed XP character items, money, interest. I did want to add like random loot drops, right? If we have different items with different rarities and then like at the end of combat you get random loot drops, then that could be cool. And then you have like these not jokers, these we'll call them managers or something that influence that. Maybe you have one that it's like an Nalof's gift from Slay the Spire, where it increases the rarity. Bonus types. What was it? Defense. Offense. So yeah, items can have rarity. Characters, I am planning to add rarity. So actually maybe write that down here. I might lean away from consumables. I'm not sure if I even want to add them yet. Because I think you don't need every mechanic to make a good game, right? You should add it if it adds to the game. And what I noticed about the consumables in Balatro is a lot of them are more for like long-term scaling of attack, but it also adds a bit more consistency because you can use them to make certain hands. So they kind of do both, actually, now that I think about it. But it seems like they're more focused on like the long-term scaling of your deck, like opening the tarot pack, getting the devil, and then putting gold, making a gold card so that you're getting money from the card in your hand. Stuff like that. So I don't know how exactly what am I doing? How am I pronouncing the word how? I don't know how exactly I want to do this thing. So I'm probably going to save it for later if I feel like the game needs more mechanics, more spice, more things. Why is my caps lock on? Character rarities. And a notes page of this too. So let's see. We want your Oshi to stay relevant throughout the game if you want. So in other auto battlers, level up / time adds increased rarity characters to the pool. And so like later on you unlock the rarer characters. What I was thinking is we take inspiration from gacha games. Gacha games like Project Sekai is probably the one I've played the most recently. But I mean, it's probably similar in others, right? 1 star, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 star. And rarer characters have higher base stats and special bonuses and abilities. And then items and gear can interact with character rarity. So that might be gain stats based on characters above a certain rarity, gain stats based on the rarity of the character, stuff like that. And then the other thing was merging 2 characters should combine XP totals and take the rarer of the 2. And then I also noticed this, given that description. Again, in the notes I'm copying over to this doc that, oh, whoops, I should scroll down. Let me actually, yeah, let me make this a little bit smaller, make this a bit wider. All right, I hope that's readable. I hope that's readable. Trying to make it readable on mobile too, because I watch streams on mobile sometimes, I know. I guess that's one other reason that I like, I scale things based on like the small OBS preview of it being in the top of my second monitor, and the second monitor is a vertical monitor. So I use that to sort of judge what the mobile viewing experience would be, I guess. And I guess sometimes that means that the desktop viewing might be a little big, but I think that's fine. Right. Respec tech. Merging a maxed character onto a level 1 character means that you refund the skill points. So you can respec, kind of. And so in a lot of games you have to pay something to respec. I'm not entirely sure about like in the context of a roguelike. Usually you don't like respec in a roguelike, but I guess in this case you can do something like that. So then if you find your build is a little different, then you end up buying another character, just like a common one, and then you merge them, and so you can respec your abilities. Anyway, so this character rarity system, the star system, is also going to be on top of the levels system. And then another note I made. I don't know why I was on this page, but whatever. Add the bench from TFT, which again, I have not played. I watched a tutorial this morning so I could take inspiration for more ideas for the game. This allows for more specific unit merging, and it allows for swapping team composition based on the upcoming encounter, which you can see because this is a PvE game. Which I guess Autobattlers can also have like PvE components too, but sure. Back to, where was it? The items. I wrote down a bunch of, well, a good handful of like ideas, but nowhere near like the 150 something whatever in Balatro, but should be enough to sort of get things started, to show like a bit of interaction between different things, a bit of synergizing, a bit of making you think strategically of thing activates other thing, right? So, although maybe I need more. Even more of that stuff, like in Balatro, jokers that trigger other jokers, or like re-trigger cards, which benefits your other scaling joker, like say Hanging Chad and Wii Joker. Whatever, I'll just write down what I have what I have for now. You have armor, which I'm thinking might change in the future. Maybe we'll add like a block mechanic, like Slay the Spire, but like it might effectively just be temporary HP. Or like overheal. Healing can be a thing. Again, I could just take the sudden death mechanic from the Bazaar, and then we can have teams that heal forever, and it would get soft locked because eventually sudden death would kick in, and then the teams start taking down health. Damage blocking. So I think I was thinking like dodge chances in I know, I guess a lot of games now they think about it, but like Brotato, Payday 2 is the one that comes to mind for me. Or Soulstone Survivors has a similar mechanic. I think it actually is called block in Soulstone Survivors. It's like a percentage chance to negate damage. But this could also be like a deterministic thing. Could be like Buffer from Slay the Spire. Right? Dodge, Brotato. And then Extra Lives. I think that one is going to be interesting too, because it could synergize with on-death effects. So I have that one too. Offense, could have physical damage. Right now that's strength and then toxic. And those are all the mechanics we have for now. But I did have like an idea for third stat tech, which would just be like ability power. Except like for certain specific abilities. So that might be a thing in the future. I was actually considering so all the units right now have Pippa, Rie, Jelly have like a sort of basic attack where Pippa's is like the melee and then Rie's is the Pafu Bite with starts with 2 range, and then Jelly's has the ring beam. I was thinking that could be like the auto attack in League of Legends or in TFT, right? And then have that one level up automatically, and then have the other abilities be the ones you like choose to level. But I don't know. I don't think there's a reason we'd have to do it that way. Just if it makes it simpler or easier. Have a good stream, Ice Cream Man. Thank you, Cielo Jose. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to see people returning. It's good. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right, or something consistent, or maybe it is the consistency. Maybe consistency is a lot more important than I thought when it comes to streaming, and the fact that I've been doing a ton of streams in a row on the same topic, being this game that I'm working on, is very beneficial for the channel. I don't know. Would you guys also watch me do variety gaming stuff? Because I am gonna, do gaming streams too. Because I have been doing gaming streams for a long time. I also still want to play the other Phase Jam games, which I should probably do before the voting period ends. So it'll probably be either, if not tonight, then I want to say tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. Anyway, I like this music. Reminds me of Steven Universe, Ivy and Slashu. This one's by Stream Cafe. Anyway, speaking of Steven Universe, I saw a tweet talking about that one like multi-hour long video essay about like Steven Universe is a terrible show. And it turns out the person who made that like didn't even freaking watch Steven Universe. Oh my god. Anyway. Bonus types. Conditionals. Triggers. Things that trigger other things. There's gonna be a thing too. It's gonna be here too. This is gonna be what do we got? Should I just be copy pasting? No, it's more fun if I type it all out. Even though it's all already prepared in my notes. I'm not actually doing the brainstorming on stream because I spent like, I don't know, the past day or two, the past couple days writing stuff down. Alright, so if fight was shorter / longer than time. That's a condition. After X seconds. All units. Front unit, the back unit. If all units are the same character. On kill. On hit. On taking damage. On unit in front dies. That could be tied to like character items too. Gears. I'm calling them gear in my notes, but I think I called them gifts originally in like the original notes page I had for the game jam. So maybe we theme it like that. So you have managers and you have gifts. I don't know. Or maybe staff. You're supposed to be the manager. You're managing the team, but I guess the staff also helps. You have different managers for different things. Whatever. All right. It just has to feel. It just has to make you feel like something VTubing. Start of combat. Either that, or maybe it's a bad idea to name things or theme things after VTubing if I'm trying to target like a general audience, and items would be more fitting. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. When I'm thinking of like, so in Binding of Isaac you have items. In Slay the Spire you have relics. In Risk of Rain you have items. In Balatro you have jokers, and I guess a lot of other stuff. It's probably fine. How would a Yab mechanic work here? I'm interested in brainstorming that actually. I would really like to know what Yab does. What if Yab scales with specific abilities? And then those specific abilities, what if Yab is a debuff? Or what if it's a buff? No, it's probably a buff, right? It's probably like a risky buff, right? That would fit best. Some kind of buff that also gives you a downside if you make too much of it. Lower the enemy's skills by level. So I'm planning on designing this with like NPC encounters. And so I'm not entirely sure what the levels would be in that case, unless I just design the NPCs in a way that they have levels, which they kind of already do. But I kind of want it to be a buff that also has a negative downside. What if it's like Raft Stance in Slay the Spire? Take and receive and deal double damage. How about that? Or 1.5 times damage or something like that. That sounds fun, actually. It's like a special status that just... Berserker buff. Yeah. STS Wrath. Kind of like that idea. Or we just recreate the Watcher in our Autobattler game. Start of combat, end of combat, units with X rarity, stuff like that. Alright, and then we're copying with my notes page. The other thing, where was it? Here. How do we do this in our game? Use time remaining, use team HP remaining. STS style elites could be another option here, because if you have more immediate power, then that allows you to take a riskier path. We'd also have to have a map system plus map system. So the idea is you take a riskier path and you get more long-term scaling thanks to your immediate bonus. Slay Spire has some economic relics, but it's not like you get as much of a choice. Like the shop doesn't usually have economic relics, you just sort of find them randomly. You also don't get as many choices for relics outside of like shops, outside of the blue key, I guess. Versus like other roguelikes where every time you get a choice between 3 relics. Alright, conditionals. Alright, so examples for player items. I'm gonna start with copying my notes, and I think that'll get like, I don't know, probably most of the ideas I had in my head. Per empty slot. It's like empty team slot. Front unit, +1 strength when taking damage. On taking damage. Simple stuff like all units plus 2 strength. That may be a common one, a basic one. Maybe I should put like rarities. Common. If we should think of strength as more of like an early game thing, and then toxic as more of like a later game thing, then maybe this one could be uncommon. We have toxic abilities apply +1 toxic. All units buff effects are increased by 1. We might have to tweak some numbers with that one. That seems pretty powerful. I like the idea of a common economic one, so like gain 4 income. That'd be end of combat. Which the income stat already activates at end of combat. But yeah. This would be an uncommon one, since again this is more mid-game. It would be increase interest cap to 10. But that is kind of weak relative to when there's something that just gives you $4 per round. Oh right, the one in Velatro is actually just like gain doubled interest. Right now the interest cap is what? It's 5. It's $1 every $5 you have, up to a max of 5 income, which is exactly the same as Velatro, so maybe this also should be exactly the same as Velatro. But we can always tweak. There's more goofy ones. This one. All units gain +5 strength. You can no longer apply toxic. I wanted something like that. But I also wanted something like this. All units minus 99 strength. +5 toxic apply. So gimmicky stuff. Funny stuff. Toxic effects apply 20% faster. What? Oh, that was the percent side. Make toxic based on a timer. Right, so for consistency, ease of balancing, I'm thinking toxic should be like time based instead of when they cast an ability based. Which would probably make balancing the numbers a lot easier compared to extremely situational, really good or really bad toxic. Also, that current mechanic sort of balances itself out, and if the enemy is casting more, then the toxic decreases faster, but I think it usually ends up in the enemy just dying faster. So I think for simplicity, I should just make toxic based on a timer. But again, I need to rework the timers because they're using Godot timers, and I want the timers to be more adjustable. I can't do this with a Godot timer because all the Godot timers are based on the entire tree's like time scale. Unless I could set the time scale just for, no, I think it's like a scene tree is the class. So yeah, I don't think you can have a timer on a different time scale than the rest of the timers. That's why I'm just changing the timer's time that it ticks down. RNG, hello Selenix Winter. Yeah, you gotta have some randomness in your game, especially in a roguelike, right? To make it interesting. Which is kind of interesting, right? Because a lot of these games are, I don't know, again, I'm thinking like, say, the Spire Balatro. But they're played at like very high levels strategically. And yet they contain lots of randomness to the point where, you know, people have done calculations and searched for seeds and found like the one impossible seed in Slay the Spire, where you, but it's specifically for starting as the Silent, where you get offered no damage cards, and your first elite is a forced elite, and the first elite is Lagavulin. Speaking of seed, RNG seeds, I'm gonna have to put that in sometime. Eventually. Later. Later on. Alright, front unit, +1 respawn. I don't know if this... I'll recategorize them later. Whatever. On kill, +1 gold. I don't know if this is actually good. If this one's 4 income, I mean, we can adjust the numbers later, but if I assume each encounter has between like 1 or 2 enemies on average, but then some might have 4 to 6, then I guess, yeah, this really depends. The other thing you can do is like 50% chance to gain thing. Balatro has a lot of those, right? You have Wheel of Fortune. You have, what was it? Free parking or whatever. It's like a 50% chance. You have the lucky card. And Oops All Sixes, the one that increases probability of slow things. Of good things, but also bad things. So that's interesting. So that's another interesting, funny thing. Here's something really funny we could do, like 50% chance to respawn. That one could be pretty goofy. On unit death, +1 gold. Some of these might be like bad, but we can always tweak the numbers. Speaking of Balatro, they have modifiers for the cards, steel, gold, stone, etc. Would that work for the battlers too? I do like the idea of taking something like that. I think I was going for, but I wonder if that would overlap with the, what was it, character items, which I haven't even wrote down yet. Character or unit items. I'm wondering, we could do that, right? We could do that. Just have multiple overlapping systems. If anything, that's probably better for the game having complexity to the point where, you know, there is interesting depth to it, right? Character modifiers, Balatro enhancements, question mark. But in that case, would he also add the Balatro consumables? Probably, if we want to do it that way. And well, if we would want to copy Balatro's homework, which I think it's worth taking inspiration from. I'm trying to combine multiple inspirations into this game, so it's not completely like a ripoff. It's also not a deck builder exactly when it's an Autobattler, but I want to take inspiration from a lot of deck builders. Or at least the ones I know well. There are a lot of deck builders besides Slay the Spire, besides Balatro. I just haven't really watched or played them. And there's a lot of roguelikes based on like, what's it? I've seen Dicey Dungeons a bit. I've seen, which one was it? It's like a Bingle Bongle or something, or it's like a roulette themed one. I've seen Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers. I've not played them, but I know of them. So maybe if this one's too weak, then maybe we buff it to like a rarer one, because that's another option for like balancing, is just to make it a rarer item with more powerful effects. They're like, oh, pog when you see it. And it seems to work pretty well for Balatro because there are Jokers that are just like direct upgrades to other Jokers, but they're more rare. It's funny about the dungeons when it came out before Balatro. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, I've seen I saw Northernline play it. Of course. On unit def. This one could be really interesting now that I think about it. Because then you'd have to build around it. So I like that. Oh right, I didn't have a name for this, so I just named it funny scaling item. Start of combat, gain +0 strength. And then on kill, permanently increase the strength gain by 0.1. And then unit items. I had like a couple ideas written down. Oh hey, we're almost at an hour, but not quite. That was when I had to end the last stream. And we like barely put anything down in the doc, but oh well. Unit items, +1 strength when a unit dies. I guess any unit dies if we are including like respawns. I guess if we make the respawns carry over the status effects, like the bonuses on the character, then like it could synergize with itself if you have like an extra life and then an on-def trigger. That could be cool. On-def summon an ant. You know, like the ants that crawl across Pippa's desk. And it's just like a 1 HP unit or something. Or maybe it's something stronger. Maybe it's like a super def dragon or something. On-def, revive with 1 HP. Clears toxic. I guess all the respawns would clear toxic then if we're gonna do it that way. Which might make it kind of a counter for toxic builds, but again, I'm thinking PvE here. So I'm not sure how many enemies will actually be using toxic. On def, or toxic AoE, again, we can bounce the numbers that might have to be higher. Maybe it's like 8 toxic. +1 strength when taking damage. That could be a thing. +1 armor on taking damage. That one might need some tweaking. That sounds a little goofy. And then +1 strength after dealing damage 3 times? 3 times. Ugh. Yeah, that one I was thinking of the Shuriken, Slay the Spire, when I wrote that down. So there's that. There's that. What else we got? Consumables. Oh right, character modifiers. Let's add Balatro to our personal dictionary. There we go, thank you. No more red squiggly line on this very real Latin word. Yeah. So that was all that I had written down. But I'm sure we can think of more. But also this is probably like decent enough for like an initial exploratory content update to the game. And then like as time goes on, we can just keep adding more options, more stuff, more things. Oh my god, the 1 hour PGM is fading out. Oh my god. Oh my god. As long as you credit us in the description of your video. Sorry, I'm gonna here, let's copy the channel. There we go. Roller skating. Wonder how many of these songs I've seen before. Here, edit. BGM. Some BGM by Stream Cafe. Save. Okay, there we go. What now? Stop looking at the number. I need to stop looking at the number. I alt-tabbed to go to the YouTube tab and I saw the number. It was scaring me. Thank you, lurkers. All right, I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm sane. The voices, the worms in my brain. Nah. I'll survive. I'll win. Nah, I'd win. I'm gonna fight the worms. I'm gonna beat the worms. I'm gonna reach into my head. I'm gonna beat them. I'm gonna jork them out of my head. Rare items. I had one idea on taking damage. I mean, this is still feels kind of simple. This might need nerfing. Actually, +1 gold. Or is it on dealing damage? No, it's probably gonna be like ridiculously powerful. Every 5 times dealing damage, +1 gold. Those ones are kind of goofy. We also need like rare scaling stuff. In combat, gain all units gain +1 strength every 5 seconds. We do stuff like that too. I don't know if that's rare unless I like made it even more strong. But we can do stuff like that every X seconds. Just write that down. That one's good. That was good for ideas. What else did I have in my notes? Timer rework. Character rarities. I did write that down. Items. Gear. I'm calling it gear in my notes. We can change it maybe. Heading 2. Gear. Gear is items tied to characters, or just character items, or just unit items, because that's what I called them earlier. This inconsistent terminology, it's making things difficult for anyone who might potentially work on this in the future. For me. All right, add a gear inventory. Characters can have X gears equipped at a time. I didn't know how many. I still don't know how many. Might be 1, might be 2, might be 3. Probably not too many, because I do kind of want to have that interesting dilemma of, ooh, which one do I swap out? But it's also kind of fun to let you like scale up crazily. I don't know. Oh wait, I had another idea for other utility. What was it? +1 team slot. I want an item that gives you +1 team slot. Because that one sounds fun. More stuff. More things. And then what if we also have like negative from Balatro? So maybe like item modifiers. Negative from Balatro. Ola. Jola. Hola. As opposed to Ola. Hello again, real emo thug life. Welcome to the Twitch stream. We are working on ideas for the post-jam updates for Face No Autobattler, which is a real game that you can play right now, linked in the YouTube description, but not in the Twitch description. Linked on my Twitter, I guess. Euler makes purchases such rerolls cheaper. Ooh, I like that. Economic effects. Actually, yeah. You know what? Yeah, let's put that in uncommon for now. Euler. Rerolls. Maybe those are separate jokers, or I'm calling them jokers because they're very much inspired by Balatro jokers. Rerolls cheaper. Purchases cheaper. Yeah, that's another good economic effect, right? On rarity. 2-star plus 2 strength, 3-star plus 3 strength, 4-star plus 4 strength. But yeah, that's in a lot of games now I think about it, like the games that I play. Right? Brotato just added the spyglass in the DLC update, which is like 25% cheaper rerolls. And then, I mean, it already had the free reroll. And Balatro has the green joker, which does that too, right? Right. Alright, good idea. Thanks for reminding me of that too. And I guess that's like, it's a good amount of ideas for now. Enough to, you know, spend some time implementing. I think after this, maybe not this stream, maybe yes this stream actually, I'll work on how am I going to implement these things. Like, which one do I start with? And the encounters are probably going to have to be balanced after I add in these other things that give other bonuses, right? Items give inspiration from the Balatro jokers. The gears, unit items, the character rarities. That's also going to be like more power scaling, so also need to scale the encounters up. And I was toying with the idea of, yeah, Slay the Spire style elites plus the map system. I think I kind of want to do that, like maybe every 3 rounds or something you get a choice of an elite or a normal. Or maybe we just have like a full-on Slay the Spire map and event system, because a lot of roguelikes seem to be taking that idea and it seems to work pretty well. But Balatro did something different though with the whole skip blind thing. So I don't know. I think it might be better to have it simpler, to have less of like the whole map thing and more just every now and then you get a choice of things. Maybe I should watch more of the Bazaar, because I know the Bazaar is kind of similar. You get like a choice between different encounters and then you get like choices of which item to take and stuff like that. Maybe the end of combat rewards will also give you like choices of, yeah. Gear. Give as random end of combat rewards, choice of 3? Question mark. Question mark. A lot of this is uncertain. A lot of this is subject to change. A lot of this may never make it into the game. You're experiencing the creative process in real time. This is how game dev works, right? Things can just change. You try things out. You see if they work. They might not work. I don't know. It might also be on me to balance them too. That might be one of the most important parts of, I don't know, making this game interesting. Is just going to be not just adding all the mechanics, but, you know, tweaking the numbers until they feel right, until they feel fun. And that's why I need you guys. That's why I need people who will actually watch me, but also play the game especially, and give me feedback. And if not even feedback, or maybe even better than feedback would be to like stream the game for various reasons. If you're not comfortable streaming, then even a recording would help me out a lot in being able to like see your reaction to it. I remember I was watching what was it? I was rewatching some of the Spire GDC talks, and one of the things they talked about was how seeing feedback from streamers is also super valuable, more so than just like, I don't know, receiving text feedback like X item is underpowered or whatever, but like seeing a streamer pick up an item and like, oh, it's this item, and you can tell how disappointed they are in receiving underpowered item, and like, oh, they think this item is underpowered, so maybe it is underpowered. Right. Stuff like that. It's going to be important here, I think. Balance goals. Balance goals. I'm just going to copy from my notes again. I'm like I feel like I'm just like describing my thoughts mostly. We've come up with a few things, maybe. I've come up with a few things too. While writing this out. Yeah, that wasn't in my notes. But I like that. I like that. It could just be like a whole item, manager item, or just a unit item. Could be both. What if it like scales with number of stacks? What if it's receive and deal 10% more damage per stack? That could be interesting. Where do we start? That's a great question. It's going to rely on me doing actually implementing these things, so it might take a while. I really don't have a good guess on when the next update is going to come out or how much stuff is going to be in the update, but I think I want to try and get things out quickly, like as soon as possible. Hello, Gracie Pinera. But yeah, stay tuned. Is this where I do the interaction reminder, like and subscribe? Because in the future I'll be releasing updates and you can actually play them, and then you can actually give me feedback on these things. Or even in just the ideas stage, I think, you know, if you think some of these would work or would not work, or if you have like concerns over whether or not they will work as in like being fun and interesting, then I'm interested in that too. I'd like to hear that too. But the other thing I hear is that you need to balance out, you know, listening to some feedback and versus listening to all feedback. Because sometimes I hear that, you know, you get feedback and the players don't actually know what they're talking about. But also it's probably going to be important to pay attention to the ones that do know what they talk about, what they're talking about. Or even if they don't know what they're talking about, like if there's a reason that they feel a certain way, then that's important too, right? If the game is too confusing or something, then I'm probably doing something wrong in, I guess, tutorializing the game. Although, actually, that's an interesting question, right? Like, what if the entire playtesting user base gets so used to the game that they stop worrying about like the new player experience, the tutorialization, and then I have to like find new players and then actually see their reactions to stuff and see if like my game is too incomprehensible for people. I mean, I guess I can just, you know, copy how Slay the Spire and Balatro do their tutorialization stuff, which by tutorialization is like more like an actual tutorial. Seems kind of important, but that's for further down the line, probably. I imagine if there's people who are going to be playing this game a lot and giving playtesting feedback, then they will probably be like the hardcore users who understand the game well and probably need to focus both on what the new player experience is going to be as well as the the long-term playability of it. Well, speaking of, probably a lot of the new player experience is gonna be in like, are the visuals eye-catching? Is visuals and sound design. I think I need to focus a lot on that because I have literally put no sound effects in the game, just background music. And one thing I remember from the Ultra Kill developer commentary from the streams that Haki has done is he says to add sound in as soon as possible, which makes sense given he's a musician as well. He does the music for Ultra Kill as well. But yeah, I probably need to do that too. Yeah, sound and particle effects for abilities. I don't know when I'm gonna do that because I'm probably gonna be focused on adding these new mechanics in, but that's important too, right? Right, there's that too. The balance goals, abilities should be roughly similar in power level, situationally stronger than others. I wrote this down in my notes, but reduce ability buff scaling. Slow the game down and allow more scaling to come from items. Because if the buffs are too strong, then it's gonna kind of overshadow everything. I'm kind of thinking like, the abilities in this game right now are the things you control. They're like they're kind of like the upgrade paths in Bloons TD6. So, But a lot of the fun in roguelike games comes from the randomness, the uncertainty. And like in a lot of other roguelikes probably, you'd be choosing from one of 3 options or something for ability upgrades. So I wonder. Make future balancing easy. E.g. Actually no, I wrote this notes page before my items notes page, so it was written like this. Allow for items to come later and change the game. Example, items give 10% power, Act 1, 30%, Act 2, 50%, Act 3. So adjust health and damage values accordingly for the NPC encounters. Make defensive builds and items useful but not unbeatable. Speaking of, hold on. I had another page of it was literally titled TFT notes. Just like for myself mostly. But like noting down, what was it? You have a player level that you spend gold to level up. On level up, it adds the rare characters to the pool, and the rare characters are generally more expensive and generally better. I'm probably just gonna go for scaling rarity with time. I know that's how Super Auto Pets does it. And also having it scale with time would probably simplify things, which is better for the new player experience. Your gold scaling. Hello, Doctor, who is this? I'd suggest adding a combat speed mold. Yes, I do want to add that eventually. I will add that eventually because that is probably something I am going to want when I start playing this game more than once. So new players can tell what works, what doesn't work in combat, while older players can go through faster. Yeah, absolutely. That's a big quality of life thing. Thank you for the reminder. I haven't seen Hanamaki in a while. Hope she's doing well. Also, maybe there's a lot of VTubers I haven't seen in a while, just because I haven't been watching VTubers as much. Sorry, I've been watching too many Baylor Lord runs, too many Frost Prime Slay Spire runs. TFT is fun, but I opened a tab per manga since game is too slow. Oh yeah, that's one more advantage of a PvE auto battler versus a PvP auto battler. You can adjust that, or an async auto battler like Super Auto Pets, I guess. Haven't watched Hana in a long time. Used to be someone I watched religiously. Just like Ball. I mean, even Slay the Spire has the game speed option, right? It's pretty important for like quality of life, I feel. But yeah, I used to watch her. I used to watch her a lot. That was a joke. Yeah, we're taking more inspiration from the games that I enjoy. I wrote down somewhere Hit Stop from Ultra Kill. Because as we all know, Ultra Kill definitely invented Hit Stop. It was never in any other games, fighting games. Which note even was that? Oh, it was this one. Wait. No, I was playing... Hold on. I was playing some Cyber Grind in Ultra Kill. And I remembered about the enraged state that the enemies had. And it reminded me of the enraged state for the champ in Slay the Spire. And so I wrote down your gameplay ideas. It was like this. Enraged state. STS, champ, Ultra Kill. Also, hello, Magus. Oh, I come bearing feedback on the geometry. This is the place for it. Sure, I'll take it here. But you can also post it on itch.io, or you can also post it on my Discord. You can post it wherever. Yeah, feedback appreciated. But I also kind of have an idea of what I need to work on for post-jam stuff. But also kind of not, because there's kind of a lot of ideas running around here, and I'm not sure what order exactly I'll be getting to it in. So honestly, post-jam update might take more than a week. More than next week. We'll find out. Depends on how hard I work, but I kind of want to relax a bit after having spent 11 days working on the game straight. So it'll be going. We'll see. Hopefully I can do more long dev streams. Hopefully. And not feel terrible afterwards. We'll see. Right. Careful on burnout. Yeah, that is something I know I should be worried about. I know I'm feeling good about the project right now, but it's also still very early. It's also still very early, and we don't have like a ton of complexity. My biggest criticism is you have a bunch of great mechanics, but introducing them slower over the course of the first few fights would make it a lot more intuitive to learn. That is a good point. Slay the Spire starts out with just strike and defend, right? And your other couple starting cards. And so like it introduces those mechanics sort of naturally in the course of like building the deck, right? So I think that's paced very well in Slay the Spire. Balatro is kind of similar, right? They have a whole tutorial thing. Yeah. In this one, like, you're kind of aware of Toxic from the beginning if you read Rie's stats, or if you read Rie's abilities, right? But that's like a whole different thing from Strength and Strength Down and other stuff. What else am I thinking of? Rarities is another way to sort of introduce things slower, right? The rarer jokers in Balatro have wackier effects, usually. Stuff like DNA, stuff like the thing that deletes the card when you discard it. Was that trading card? Was that even rare? I don't even remember. But yeah, that is a good point. The new player experience is going to be kind of important, especially if I want like people to stream it and like try it out for the first time and not get annoyed and bored. But I also want to get people addicted. But that, yeah, I'm wondering how to like capture that whole simplicity at the beginning, and then it like branches out into lots of complexity. I don't play this genre. I was pretty lost at first. that's fair. Understandable. Yeah, how am I gonna ease in the new player experience outside of just doing a tutorial, which, you know, could work. It might work. But like pacing out things. Maybe the ability tree is gonna need a rework. Do you think it would be better to just give the players like the choice of 2 abilities, 2 upgrade paths, and then have like the first ability become automatically leveled with the overall character level? A re-work. A re-work. Yeah. The other way that these games like, I guess, introduce things slowly is you unlock different items. Sweet, not too late. Hello, Pomp Pomp. Saw, dude. Saw, dude. I'm doing good. I was brainworming earlier. I am maybe a little brainworming, but feeling a bit better. And we've written down a lot of stuff. I'm still copying things from my notes, but we did come up with a couple new ideas that weren't already in my notes. And this doc is like kind of duplicating my notes. Also got gameplay ideas. Balance goals. Oh, this was part of balance goals. Immediate versus long-term scaling for items, right? Future analytics. GA4 is free. Still not sure when we're gonna need this, how I'm gonna use this, but seems important. Seems very useful. Great project though, by the way, turned out well. Thank you. Thank you. I guess I'm like biased against it because I have already figured out how to play it, and I know that there's no more content, that there's no more encounters for me to beat. So it's like the game is solved, right? And that's bad if you want it to be replayable. And so that's what I'm looking to fix by adding more content, right? More randomness, more complexity, more strategy, but not too much to make it impossible for a new player to get into. But yeah, how am I gonna like introduce the player? Just follow, I guess just copy Slay the Spire and Balattra's tutorials, right? Where they sort of tutorialize the first 2 fights, introduce the mechanics. Right, so how'd that work? You know, it like passes over, drag a unit from the shop, you add the unit there, drag another unit onto another unit to merge, open the ability tree and level up the ability. That's something that other Autobattlers don't have, typically. Like, when you level up a unit, it just gets the bonuses. In my game, it gets some bonuses, but sometimes when it levels up, but also you get a skill point and you have to like spend that skill point in the ability tree. I don't think much replayability is expected on jam projects generally. Good point, yeah. But that is my goal. That is my goal here. Because those are the types of games that I like. The ones that are endlessly replayable. The ones you can spend $5 on Brotato and spend hundreds of hours in it. That's what I'm looking for. So boss encounters. Oh yeah, that's another idea. And I was wondering what I could reward for the boss encounters, because like in Slay the Spire you got the boss relics, and those are like really strong, but with some game-changing downside. Which I like. I like that. I like that idea. Strong benefit with some downside. Like STS boss relics. Those ones are pretty like card game specific, kind of like drawdown. I guess there's like money ones. There's like consumable Sozu. Sozu, ectoplasm, cursed key. That one's interesting. I guess we don't have curses in this game, but maybe have something similar and like a negative item that you have to have equipped on something. Anyway, longer fight that tests the player's build. Defense and offense. Okay. So you have gameplay ideas. You have to have theming ideas. Again, I'm like copying down from my notes document that I've been writing in over the past couple days, I think. And also partially while I couldn't stream yesterday. Here. At Dizzy Doker. Have other phase talents, but they should also probably just be characters. I wrote this down. Dizzy's. And actually I was thinking of Donu Deka. Donu Deka STS. But it's Dizzy's Dizzy. Sakana, Stickman Pippa from my programmer art. Jerry in quotation marks, but it's just jelly but slightly different. Slugma. Alright. Walmart Pekora. Maybe we can't call her Pekora. Maybe we can't put Walmart there either, but yeah, Jelly with a Sig. Perfect. And a baseball cap. Perfect. Alright, yeah. Flavor members? Me, I'll be the self-insert final boss or something. Biga. I don't know why I wrote this down. I think this was gonna be like a placeholder, where it's just Pippa with a bigger sprite. And then Slimekin Slippa. And that's all I had written down. Gameplay ideas, Donu Deka, STS, summoning units, healing units, Lagavulin, STS. I'm literally just writing down. It's just taken from other games. A lot of this is probably just going to be Slay the Spire, because I guess that's what I'm thinking of when it comes to designing these encounters. Some of these behaviors, like acid slime split, large slime splits. If it works, it works. STS is Slay the Spire. The game that popularized roguelike deck building as an entire genre. And also one of the inspirations for this game. Yeah, in terms of like status effects and all that. Again, I haven't played Super Auto Pets or any other Autobattlers. So a lot of the inspiration for my mechanics was coming from Slay the Spire, actually. But just like adapted to a real-time context and an Autobattler context. If it works, it works. If it works, yeah. Yeah, and I think it's good if I'm just like open about taking inspiration from other games, and I try to take from multiple games and not just one. Because a lot of games are derivative. All art is derivative, right? Just some art is maybe more derivative and then only derivates on a single existing game, and then you get the accusations of being unoriginal. I'm trying to differentiate this by it being an Autobattler, which I haven't seen a lot of in the space. I think I've seen some deck builders that have sort of auto-battling, like minion summoning kind of mechanics in the auto-battle. But I'm trying to make this not really like a deck builder. More taking inspiration from like an auto-battler. Because I think, like in my mind, Slay the Spire is already a perfect deck builder. I don't need any other deck builder games. No offense to the other existing deck building games, I'm sure they're fine. But like Slay the Spire is already perfectly meeting my needs for a deck building game. And it's very well balanced, and I am taking a lot of inspiration from it. I've also spent a lot of time watching it, so that's another reason I I guess I'm very well aware of it. Magic the Gathering Chandelar was a roguelike deck builder in the 90s. Oh, really? I know the deck building genre is older than Slay the Spire, right? Because there's like board games that exist. Here, let me look it up. Magic the Gathering. The one I hear of is what, Dominion? Magic the Gathering, Chandelar. Chandelar? Which one is this? Chandelar. 1997. Oh my god. My Abandonware. Oh, neat. Oh wow, it is a PC game. Magic the Gathering Chandelar is the most fun way to play MTG. Oh yeah, it's React time. It's React content time, except I'm reading an article. It's article reading time. Magic Gathering Chandelar is old, weird, hard to install, and confusing to play, so of course I love it. Magic the Gathering has tons of ways to play. You can play standard format, EDH Commander, even Pauper if you're feeling frugal. You can also play online with a tool like MTG Arena if you want. But what if you want to play Magic as an open world isometric roguelike? I've played Magic like a handful of times IRL. I have like a couple friends who are into it, and so they got me to play like a couple games, and then I don't really understand the entirety of what's going on, and then I get killed by some combo I have no idea. But yeah, it's a game. The basic premise of the game is pretty far removed from your standard game of Magic. You start by choosing your starting color and then creating your character. Oh wait, actually this reminds me of something I didn't write down yet, I think. Mad Gremlin, STS. Strength on damage received. That was in my notes, but was that another thing I didn't write down yet? Was it in character rarities? I know where I wrote this down. Character tags. Rotato, TFT. They're not called tags in TFT, but they're called, where is it? Traits. I think Rotato they're called tags, but it's like a set bonus. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with that, but it seems like it would be good for like the pool of characters. So then like you're trying to form a certain combination of tags, but then not too many of them because you want to synergize with getting other tags instead, but maybe it depends on like what your build is going for. Anyway, yep, the colors. World generation. Ooh, no real tutorial. Retro gaming. Towns, encounters, special event locations, dungeons, mage towers. Your objective is to defeat the 5 wizards of each color. Ah. Okay, combat. Combat here. The roguelike deck building part. As you defeat monsters, you'll find cards and collect gold. You need gold for food and to buy new cards. Wow. So yeah, it's a roguelike deck builder, but magic. Neat. Abandonware, yeah. I've thought of doing some older games like Lego Island, like games from my childhood. A roguelike deck building Autobattler. I'm intrigued to see how you're actually able to actually fuse those together. Thank you, Amanda Splats. Yeah, we have the Game Jam version out now. My goal with the updates, with future content updates, is to make it replayable. Because right now, once you figure out a winning strategy, there's no variation in the combat encounters, so there's no real I guess difficulty to it, or like incentive to keep learning. And there's not enough like randomness to vary up a run. You can kind of always build the same thing, but like, yeah, once you like figure out what that build is that works. The Game Jam is just the vanilla. You're still gonna add the chocolate and strawberry. Yeah, we're adding in, or mixing in the extra flavors. We're mixing in the complexity to it. But yeah, that looks cool. Okay, I think that's everything that was written in my notes. I have to use the bathroom. So I think what I'm gonna do here, where's my BRB text? Proof of concept is you're definitely helping out temp. That's good to hear. I hope so. I felt a little guilty about not having put the credits on the tweet immediately. But once Pippa retweeted, I was like, okay, I have to put character art by Cyclocust and then background art by Temp and status icons by Temp. Hello is love. I'm about to take a piss. I'm gonna piss, then I'll be back, and I think from there I'm gonna start working out which of these to implement first and like how to implement them, which I think is gonna be the item system, because we already kind of have the encounter system, and I was thinking we might just have like very simple encounters to start while we focus on making the builds complicated, and then focus on like making the encounters challenge the builds in different ways. Otsu idle meaning I'm making piss. Animal I have become.mp3. One of these days I'm gonna forget to mute. I'm gonna have the noise suppression off. You're gonna hear my piss audio. Someone's gonna enhance the piss audio. God. Alright, I need to stop thinking about that. I need to think about what am I doing first for the items. So how's this gonna work? 3DO. I was actually looking for the 3DO mic on Throne, but I think I couldn't find it. I don't know if anything happened with 3DO, but anyway. Anyway. I definitely wasn't thinking of putting an ASMR mic on my Throne in case anyone like really wanted to hear me make ASMR content. And totally not pissing. Bah, okay. Oh, right, difficulty levels. Here, this is also in my notes, so might as well write it down here in the doc. All right, ascension difficulties. Here. Hard mode from jam release. Encounter difficulty increases on loss as well as on win. Enemies deal more damage. These are also copied from my notes. Bosses deal more damage. So I don't know if you are unfamiliar with Slay the Spire or Velatro or many other roguelikes, let's just say. They do a thing where when you win on the first difficulty level, the base game, then you unlock the next difficulty level, and then each difficulty level adds another modifier that makes the game slightly harder. 1 every 4. I was thinking we're balancing it with 1 every 5 is the base, so then 1 every 4 can be like the easy mode. Ascension, but it's called Yab. Yab level? I kind of like that too, but unless we're also going to use Yab as a status effect. But I think, actually, no, Yab sounds really fun as like a berserker effect thing. Characters dying instantly. Less interest gained, increased. Reroll cost. Reroll increases. This one might be earlier actually. By 1 per reroll. Start with less HP. Start with less coffee, less money, reduced combat rewards. Oh yeah, if we have like random gear rewards from combat, then that could also be a thing. So we adjust stronger enemies, our health, better abilities, and then same for stronger bosses. This was all I had written down. This is all I have written down. So I think that's it for the doc. Earlier, harder enemy waves. Oh yeah, that could be one too. Harder encounters appear earlier. I don't know how many I was gonna do. Maybe like a multiple of 5, or maybe, I know it could just be a funny arbitrary number. The last one is 8, right? With Gold Stake. Eclipse from Risk of Rain 2 is 8. Slay the Spire is 20, which is kind of a lot, but it is a very replayable game. A lot of depth. That is very difficult at the high ascension. To the point where top players with thousands of hours have very inconsistent win rates on A20. Or at least A20 Heart. Okay, what am I doing next? Here, I kind of want to share this. So here, it'll be on the Discord. Share. Anyone with a link can view. Copy the link. I'll share it on the Phase No Autobattler. Well, the Paulino Gaming Discord. There. All right, posted. Link in the YouTube description, I guess, is all on Twitter. What am I doing now? Notes, I think? Notes, I think. Where's my notes? Notes. Here. There we go. maybe. All right, how's that? There. Items, let's see. I guess we can put it on the same page. All right. Implementation. What does this look like? It's been a while since I've touched code. Been a while since I've looked at the code. All right. So overall user, do we call it a user story? User flow, whatever. All right. Shop has items for sale. Items have tooltips, icons, and tooltips showing details / effects. Player has 5 item slots at the top of their screen. Player can drag items from shop to slots to item slots specifically. Player can sell items by dragging to sell button. And we can work out the theming later. I'll probably call them items in code still, since I guess that's how I'm thinking of them. If I call them jokers in code, since they're very heavily inspired by Bellatra jokers. I guess we're gonna have, you know, these player items and also the character items, the gears. The gear. So I don't know exactly how we're gonna do that. So maybe we'll do some refactoring. So drag behavior from characters, rip that out, and abstract it, I guess. But for our needs, what do we need? We need separate character slots from item slots. We need to identify whether we're dragging a character or an item. And we could do, you know, some parent class stuff. But this is good though. This is GD script. We could do some, you know, dynamic typing stuff. Duck typing. We could do some duck typing. Do some duck typing. Which I'd probably like better than trying to do draggable classes. Than trying to like make character or do we like add a draggable component? Add a draggable like node? And then it's like a component on the character or the item. And then like the reference that the draggable has. The reference the draggable has a reference. Draggable node. Draggable has reference to thing being dragged. Item class, item utility / lib or whatever. I forget what you called it. I think it's called item util in FPS survivors actually. So I'll probably like copy some of that stuff. Item class has a rarity. For consistency, do we go with like a star rating? If the characters are going to be 1, 2, 3 star, then... but then that's like implying that they're going to be the same. I kind of like it to be more Balatro-y, where you have like just common, uncommon, rare. And it's like the tag thing on the item. So I guess we'll do that. So that's going to be an enum, probably on the item class. And what else am I doing? I feel like I'm getting hungry even though I just ate before stream. Common, uncommon, rare. Effects. So how are we gonna have effects, right, of each item? How are we gonna define those, actually? This is reminding me of the Balatro source code. People like looked at it, and all the Joker behavior is defined in a massive if-else chain. It's like if Joker equals name, then do this, and it's ridiculously long. Ugh. But I like trying to design things good. For my sanity, at least. So how's this gonna work? The way I laid it out for FPS survivors, actually, I think I had like a proc effect class. So item class has an array of proc effect. And then proc effect is a class. Condition is a proc condition, and then proc condition is going to be an enum of probably all of these, right? Enum. So that'd be like oh, this one's tricky. After X seconds. This might just be like a dictionary or something. And then for effect, I think I had like a base script that it inherited from, but then the resource would have to load that script, which could get tricky. What can we have here? We can have it's getting kind of complicated. If we want all of these things to be possible, like we could just have like a base class and then like some kind of on, like, yeah, define unique scripts for each of these, but then how do we like load them? How do we like trigger their effects? I think for FPS survivors, all I had to worry about was like on kill and on hit, because I think that's all I had for proc effects. But in this, like, there's going to be a lot more conditions, and then I guess it would be in Combat Manager. Like, Combat Manager is going to store all of the item effects. It's going to store the character items of, character item effects. Or maybe the characters store the item effects, and like those trigger things on Combat Manager. But we're just worrying about the player items right now, so... Yeah, item util, lets you get random items. And I think I like wrote out a whole, what was it? Unique items. Oh my god, the BGM ended. Free BGM. Oh, this one's Japanese. Sweet candy. Sweet candy. I'm just checking. I'm just reading the thing. Okay. Okay. Sweet candy is sexy too. Hello, Temtempai. Thanks again for helping with this, for the art and everything. I am working out how am I going to implement the items, and then that might be it for the stream. I kind of want to do I want to play the other Phase Jam entries, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do that tonight or tomorrow, but I think either way I'm probably going to do a separate stream slot. So let's see, actually, given the timing, I could probably finish planning out the items, but I'm not entirely sure how. I'm still not entirely sure what exactly I'm gonna do here. Let's see. Probably work out how I'm gonna use these things in Combat Manager. Play them. There were some killer ones. Yeah, I want to try it. I want to try them. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to it yet. I've been distracted by things. I played Webby Kills the Goon Man to completion. Oh right, is that the Skibidi Ohio Get Rizzler Phantom Tax Brain Rot one? Oh man, I gotta try these games out. Anyway, I'll probably make a separate stream for that. So in Combat Manager, start of combat, load all item effects. During combat, receive signals for damage. Use signals for damage dealt. Could even be like within the class. Let's see, maybe we want to start with just a few conditions, right? Trigger the start of combat effects. So that's going to be, what is that going to be? These ones, right? Stuff like this, all the units +1 strength, +1 armor per empty slot. So that means we need to know here for like proc effect targets. It's going to be some sort of description of the targets. That could be all units, targets, enum, all units, all units, front unit, back unit, wondering how I'm gonna change this for character items like gear. Or if I just, do it similarly. I don't know. Like, do I reuse classes? No, this seems like something that I'd rather have them separate, even if they share a lot of behavior. And if they share a lot of behavior, then I want to factor out that behavior somehow. So targets will be an enum for all units, front unit, back unit. And these will be for the team, and then also effects on the enemies. So that could be a thing too, like start of combat, deal, toxic, or whatever. On kill, just examples. Okay, so we have conditions, so we have targets, and then the effects. What are these gonna be? What can all the proc effects be? These could also be, I'm wondering how extra team slot is gonna be, though. Enum target type. BTC. Bitty bitty. Hootie committee. Yeah, target type. Sure, you can name it that. Target type. Think about the effects though, but also the condition. Like this could be. I'm wondering how we'd implement the. What was it? If we have a +1 team size. I guess I didn't write it down here. +1 team size. Like, how are we going to implement that? So we'll also have to... I mean, I guess you just hard code that, like hard code some special logic for that. Right, so maybe... While owned? While active? Or like always? While item is owned and not sold. So then the target type would be irrelevant. The effects could be... Yeah, so like effects might ignore the target type. And then team size is just going to be an effect? Or is that... I'm like really wishing Godot had a more robust type system for something like this, so then you could have, I don't know, options of different types. We're getting into the coding part of the idea stream. This is the code. This is me thinking about the code. Proc effects can be... Proc effects will be... What do they be? These could be status effects. These could be... I guess player effects would be something like that. Player... stats? Maybe there's like a hidden stat for number of team slots. And then you have like a condition while owned. And then these are statuses. This will be an array of status effect. And then we have player effects. This will be an array of something new that we're making. Player effects. Or maybe stats. Yeah, player stats. Stats in the sense of like skill point stats, RPG stats. Stats in the sense of RPG stats. And then player stats will have things like reroll price, team slots, other hidden variables. Why am I loading? There's that one. I love Vim keys. So player stats will just ignore the targeting type. And then conditions, proc conditions, effects, player stats ignores the target type. Unless it is relevant. I need to rebind my my expression toggles. I think this works. I think this does everything we need. So if we want reroll price, if we want team slots, stuff like that, then it'll be on the player stats on the item. Always active, and we can get rid of this until item is sold. So how does this work? How does this look? You buy the item that gives you an extra team slot, and there's also some extra coded logic in the slots to account for that. Your game state's number of team slots gets updated. Or rather, you have like a base team slots plus your stats team slots. So then like the overall team slots gets updated. When that gets updated again, that happens when you sell an item. So when you're selling an item, it checks for things like it checks for player stats, and then it undoes or it like removes them from the count. And then it updates your actual team slots, and then it removes the team slot, and then it probably tries to put the character on your bench, but might need some special handling logic in case there's some funny stuff that happens. How would that work, huh? I guess you can just add like one extra hidden slot to the bench to prevent any weirdness of removing the extra team size item. Yeah, this is different from like Belatro's hand size where that does have some like specific logic. This one, or I guess we can treat the 7th slot as like a special slot that like stays there until you like move the character out of that slot. I think that works. Okay, extract the drag behavior from the characters, put it into like a draggable node or something, and the draggable node has a reference to the thing being dragged. So now you can drag characters, you can drag items. We need to check on the slots for character slots if you're dragging a character onto it, and then for item slots if you're dragging an item onto it specifically. Otherwise, do nothing. items also need a sell price. Sell price is an int. So actually, yeah, if this is tied to the item, then move this to the item class, player stats. So now we don't have to worry about target types. Okay, proc condition is going to be stuff like start of combat, on hit, on kill, etc. On unit died, target type is going to be all units team, front unit team, back unit team, all enemy units. If you're going to refactor character dragging, don't forget how to redo how you separate the lanes for shop, active, and reserve. Good point. Let's see. How are they separated right now? I moved the Z index, and we also just access. I think it should be fine as is, as long as the characters get put into those slots. But I'm gonna have to look back at the code. It's been a while since I actually touched code here, by which I mean like a day or two. In like 2 days. But anyway, yeah, if the drag behavior just changes in we have draggable node, draggable thing has a reference to the thing being dragged, and then we just update slots to accept new drag behavior. We only ever dragging one thing at, yeah, we're only ever dragging one thing that's stored in game state right now. Differentiate between items and characters. But I think this should work. This plan should be not get absurdly overcomplicated beyond what I've already written down here. But there probably will be complications anyway, because that's how coding goes. Like, yeah, thinking. Like the drag behavior, yeah, we're just refactoring out the drag behavior so that we can use it in both items and characters. The slots need to accept either items or characters. And then some behavior like when you add an item to a slot and then when you sell the item. When you have player stats on the item, those stats are always active until the item's sold. And we can implement this later. We don't need this immediately because I think the first ones I want to implement are going to be these proc effect ones. So like at start of combat, all units gain status effect, stuff like that. I think that'll be the first thing we do. Then add a sell price, of course. Targeting type, add an item util so that the shop can get random items. Slots here, let's move these notes here. And then here, write down, what was I gonna write? What was I gonna write? The shop. Add items to shop. And they also reroll. Okay, and then also these conditions. So I want some like pretty specific conditions on some of these, like if all units are the same, and then like I guess this effect can also be like gold, so I'm not sure. Condition targets effects, so maybe like no effects and then it'll be like gold, except it's, yeah, income or something like that. So that'll be like on kill plus 2 coffee or whatever, or gold or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's technically coffee as in the way that it is in the game jam. Okay, so how is this plan? So user flow, the shop has items for sale. The items have icons. They have tooltips showing the detailed such effects. So that is going to be UI work, right? Or rather, we'll have like an item class. We'll have an item node. Icon and tooltip logic. And then actually add an item definition. Icon, tooltip text. Yeah, so name, icon, text. And then probably some more logic for special scaling items. Name, icon, text. Price and then sell price. Yeah, we should have that too. And then I guess rarity later down the line. I guess we can add rarities later. I don't know. But for the future, I'll put rarity there. Rarity. One of my friends who watched MLP, his favorite pony was Rarity. Mine was Rainbow Dash. They're kinda like opposites. Huh? Sorry, had to mention MLP. Have I not mentioned MLP on stream before? Have I not mentioned that Rainbow Dash is best pony on stream before? No? I think I've mentioned it in Raimi's chat a couple times. Oh man. I never finished the series though. I think I stopped around like season 3 or 4. But yeah. I was in fact a brony. Hard to beat Rainbow Dash. Yeah, she's so fast and so cool and 20% cooler. And she can do a sonic fucking rain boom and blow your ears out and cause massive property damage. Okay, so the shop has items for sale. The items have icons, tooltips showing their details and their effects. Those can be conditionals. The player has 5 item slots. The player can drag the items from the shop to their item slots. On doing so, they gain the player stats. They gain the player stats of the item until the item's sold. When they sell it, that removes the player stats. Pins on friendship is witchcraft. Do I want to know what that is? I've read some of the fan fictions. Series of videos overlay. Oh, it's like is this a parody dub thing or what is this? Well, technically in a bridge series, the writers have stated they stray so far away from the show's original story and characters, they prefer to consider it a glimpse into a bizarro universe version of Friendship is Magic. Have I seen this? I feel like this might have been something that I saw a million years ago and completely forgot about, or maybe I've seen clips of it. Anyway. Anyway. Gets really high quality. Okay, I might check it out. I might check it out. I'm still watching BoJack Horseman though, and I'm like halfway through season 4. I just got to the stupid piece of shit episode, which I remember seeing on my first watch through. So actually, maybe I got a bit farther than I remembered, but I think I'm very close to where I stopped watching last time. Players can sell items. On buy. Add player slots or add player stats. On cell, remove player stats. And then in the future we can have like on cell effects. That's that could be a thing. Right? Or things like the egg from Balatro, anyone? Or just gathers cell value. Extracting the drag behavior from characters. Oh yeah, speaking of, if we're going with like the theming of the items being managers or staff, then when you sell them, do you fire them? And I was also thinking, if you're selling the characters too, should we call that graduating? Should we rename the sell button to graduate when you put a character over it? Or on hard mode, then it becomes terminate instead of graduate. I feel like that might be a sore subject for some people, so I kind of don't want to do it, or at least like add an accessibility option to change the wording if I do something like that. Phase stock. Cell value will randomly rise and fall throughout the session. That sounds funny, so I'm writing it down. Stock. Cell value fluctuates per round. How about cell value gains a random, gains random -1 to 3 per round. Or maybe -1 to 4. Maybe like -2 to 4. Gotta graduate. Graduate now! Okay, so on buy, we add the player stats. On sell, remove the player stats. In combat manager, maybe put this up top. Under, where is it? Here. Maybe add a player state. Or use game state. Add player stats. In combat manager, start of combat, load all item effects. Start of combat, trigger start of combat effects. And if there are any item effects in the shop phase, then we could update the shop phase to handle those as well. Stuff like when you sell a unit or something. Like in Super Auto Fets, there's like on unit feint effects, and then there's like the pill item that lets you feint a unit in the shop and trigger stuff that like permanently affects your team. So that could be a thing too. All right, so add the player stats to player state. Again, that's looking to the future for this funny +1 team size item. The player state, we have a combat manager. We load the item effects. Use signals for item proc effect triggers. Proc effect conditions. Load all item effects. Use signals for proc effect conditions, so on damage dealt, on stuff like that. Also, is it team damage dealt? Is it enemy damage dealt? Or damage taken, or whatever. Extract the drag behavior from the character so it can go into the items. Update the slots for the new drag behavior, have them differentiate between items and characters. Add items to the shop. Add the item class, add an item definition, resource. Class that extends resource. Add proc effect class, add proc effect or proc condition class or enum, proc condition enum inside of proc effect. I think this is, yeah, this is very similar to I think how I did it for FPS Survivors. Target type is going to be a bit different. Yeah, and so these proc effects will get stored in an array or something inside Combat Manager. At the start of combat, it'll like load them all into an array, or multiple arrays, or multiple dictionaries or something. Probably multiple arrays, one for each proc condition. And then we'll just run all those effects on the specified targets, apply the specified status effects at the end of round. Oh yeah, I put this here for, what was it? Like the on kill gain 1 gold effects. So money gain or something. Because income is going to be a specific stat, like a player stat. But that could also vary based on the thing. So it's probably good to keep it tied to the item, and then income can be tied to the item so that it can get modified if it like depends on something else. So if you have an item that's like gain X income based on Y effect or something like that. And then I'm not sure how the set bonuses are gonna fit into there, but we can worry about that later, right? All I should probably focus on at first is gonna be simple stuff like these. Strength and armor per empty slot. I wonder how that's gonna work in code. Maybe I should think about how that's gonna work in code. So like start of combat, I mean, it's gonna have to be a special scripted thing, right? So maybe if I need like really special effects, then I have like some kind of item ID. Or I could just use the name. I could just use the name, but we have like ID and then display name. Could do something like that. Or name and display name, or I don't know. Time to emerge from my cocoon. Good luck with the planning. Thank you, Temp. Have a good day. Have a happy Saturday in Japan, I assume. Happy Saturday. I think that's... yeah. Use ID for special logic. So in that case, do I even need this general stuff? Well, no, I should probably have this general stuff, right? 3-day weekend, nice. Yippee! Yay! Freedom! Okay. Icon tooltip logic, so it loads the icon, loads tooltip, display name. Use ID or name, question mark for special logic. So like at stuff like this, +1 strength, +1 armor per empty slot, that's gonna have to like be calculated at the start of combat. Or I could just, you know, put a special instead of using an ID for the special logic, I could put it on the proc effect. But how is that gonna work though? So like special effect ID, and then it handles it specially for that. Are you winning, Neo? Hello, will sleep snot. I am writing out the plan for a pretty involved feature add to the game. I say involved, but I've done sort of similar things with FPS survivors before. So hopefully that comes in handy. Sounds like winning to me. Yeah, this is gonna be a thing. We're gonna do the thing. We are doing the thing. Yeah, this should work. This should work. Of course, I still need to write the code. But this plan seems thorough enough to me. So this special effect ID will be red to apply certain effects, e.g. strength armor per empty slot. Okay. Okay, so where do I start with this? Probably just the draggable and then like the item class. Draggable refactor. It's gonna be game jam 2 items. To do draggable refactor and then items and item slots. Test item and item slots. So no logic, just the item slots. And then we'll do item logic. So how's that? How's that? I mean, I could even split it up further into like, what is it? I can sell items, dragging the sell button. Yep. So these will be like refer to this items node. Is that it? Is that all I'm gonna do for today? Probably, because my brain power has been expended trying to write out this plan, and hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. Trying to manage the complexity, but there's kind of a lot of complexity in, I guess, making this general. I mean, I could just, you know, hard code special effects into everything, but that sounds like a pain in the ass to edit and design. I'd rather not do the Velatro massive if-else statement. But yeah, 2 hours of brainstorming takes a toll. Yeah. I mean, half of this was just copying from the notes, but, you know, I was thinking about things throughout. But yeah, let's see. Am I gonna do the game jam stream tonight or tomorrow? I want to say probably tomorrow. Although, I don't know, I might feel like gaming late at night. That late? I don't know. I don't know, it kind of feels like, I don't know, I'm kind of used to having done like long streams for the jam now. I don't know why I feel a bit mentally tired now. Maybe it was because I was on caffeine for the jam, but yeah. Some rest is best. You've been really working the brain there. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. As someone who wants to start learning game design and actually make a simple-ish game, this kind of stream is very helpful, so keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. That's good to hear. That's really good to hear, because I always worry that my coding streams are incomprehensible, because I am kind of like, you know, focused on doing the work and like talking to myself. But if I am explaining things well enough to the point where it makes sense, or at least like when I'm planning and writing notes and stuff, it makes sense, then that is a good sign. That means these streams can hopefully help someone. Or at least me showing my process can help someone. To be fair, they are to me because it's language I don't understand yet, but I catch bits and pieces. Plus you try to explain things, so yes, they're helpful. That's good to hear. Thank you. Yeah, GD script is similar to other programming language, but that you could say that about pretty much any programming language, kind of. The syntax is very similar to Python, so if you have learned Python, GD script is similar. If you haven't, then it's a programming language. In a way, all the programming languages are kind of similar. They all kind of do the same thing, just in a slightly different way, but depending on the thing you're doing, those differences can make a very big difference, like in terms of performance, or in terms of typing, type systems, stuff like that, syntax. Zero programming language experience for the most part, tiny bit of Python as like hello world levels. Good luck with it. Good luck with it. I got here through an entire undergraduate college degree and some high school classes as well, and a little bit of tinkering as a child, but not a lot of tinkering as a child. I basically, how did I get here? Roblox. I played a bit of Roblox. Well, I played a lot of Roblox, but I spent a bit of time trying to make levels in Roblox and trying to make places in Roblox and then messing with scripting. So that was actually that was probably my first experience programming, was Lua in Roblox, but mostly like following tutorials word for word and then finding, oh, this variable goes here, I can change this. But yeah, there's a lot to learn. What matters more than learning a language is cultivating that programmer mentality and fundamentals knowledge. The rest is just understanding the syntax to use. Yeah, once you've spent enough time with various languages, you'll start to notice the similar things in all of them, but they all have their quirks. They are still different, but like the overall coding part is similar. The overall logic of things. The Roblox minds. I have a few programmer friends and Brackies / YouTube tutorials. Hopefully that's enough. Yeah, Brackies is great. I heard, or I saw that he was like starting to do Godot tutorials. Where is it? Brackies. Yeah, I started on Unity. Actually, no, I started on like some obscure 3D game making program that is, I literally don't remember what it was, but I made like a racing game and I like burned it to a CD, and it was like a 3D racing game where you collect stuff and go through loops and stuff. And I remember making that. So that's also where, I guess, part of where I started with game dev. The Roblox mines, yeah, all the unpaid child labor. But it's okay because they're getting experience potentially in technical, valuable skills. Hopefully, maybe. And maybe also being exploited for their labor. I have this hour-long GD script tutorial in tabs for the last 3 weeks and just haven't opened it out of fear. Good luck. I would say try not to get overwhelmed. There's probably too much content on the internet. You probably want to go with one of the online like college courses, like CS50, I think is the one I always hear recommended. I don't think I didn't actually do that one though. I started in like high school programming courses. But yeah, probably, because I remember, what was it? I don't know if Chase is still here, but working on the League chat overlay with Chase. I remember he was running into issues. I'm still here, hello. I remember he was running into issues and he was like, I was like, why isn't this working? I'm like, thing. And he's like, I didn't know thing was a thing. And then I have to Google thing. Because there's a lot that I think when you're looking for things online, you kind of have to know the terminology, and so that's probably one reason to look for like a structured course as opposed to just trying to learn things piecemeal. It might take you longer. It might be harder to find the relevant information because there's like a sea of information online. Like, you know how they always say programming is just about like Googling. You're spending all the time Googling. Knowing what to Google for is a very important thing to have. And I guess like eventually you reach a point where you probably know enough stuff about the thing you're working on that you have to Google less, but still very important when you're like in that learning process. And even then, like the thing you're working on right now might not be the thing you're always working on, and then you might have to work with new thing, and then you have to Google for that new thing when you're trying to learn it, right? One thing is, I know I can learn it, but it's the idea of the overwhelmingness, you know, like trying to imagine all the stuff you don't know. The you don't know, aka I would think. So Google is my enemy, I can't terminology or heck. Yeah, again, probably look for an online course, like a structured kind of programming course to help you learn those terminology things and then learn it in a structured like way. There's a lot of like meta how to learn programming online content, I think, too. Like what was it? It's like an open source CS degree or something. I forget what it's called exactly. Open source CS degree. OSSU computer science. Is this it? GitHub OSSU computer science. Yeah, OSSU computer science. This might be it. Courses must. I'm trying to remember if this was it or if it was a different one. Here, intro to this course is under review. Open the course link. Oh yeah, it links to like actual college courses. So I literally just found this with Googling, but it might be useful. I haven't actually used it myself, but I'm going to send it in chat just in case. Just in case someone else finds it useful. Again, I haven't used this. So this is literally something I just found on Google, but there's a number of these if you just search for like open source CS degree, I think. And there's also, oh, there's this one too. Sorry, I'm already finding multiple sources for this because there's too many learning materials online. One more tab for the endless tab. Yep. Hope that helps. I really do hope it helps because I worry that sending more learning resources may make it harder to decide because there's so many learning resources online, but I think you just gotta pick one and go with it, and if you don't vibe with it, then look for another one. Like when I'm trying to learn things by Googling online, I tend to go for multiple sources. I tend to look for, I look at Geeks for Geeks, and then I look at other websites, look at MDN if it's like web dev stuff, right? So if you don't understand at first, you know, maybe you need to bash your head against a wall repeatedly. Bash your head against different walls. That's my strategy, I guess. Yeah. For a second I thought it was related to Osu. Clearly the correct answer here is to spam Icebox with questions. He's basically a wizard anyway. Yeah, just get a friend who is skilled and willing to give you their time. I can vouch that's happened in the past. Yeah, yeah. Learning from a person, like, that's probably the ideal, right? So if Chase asks me, thing, how do I do thing? Then I know what, like, follow-up questions to ask so that I know what exactly he's looking for, and then I can Google it and find it. Hi! But yeah, we should continue that project sometime. I know I've been kind of busy with this project though. I hear Naim, I'm summoned. Yeah, I was just giving examples of like a person asking other person for programming help, which probably is the fastest way to learn if you have that luxury of a friend who is into programming and also willing to help you. I have 2 programmer friends have offered to teach stuff. I just don't want to be that person because check Discord C5600 message from Will situation. your return to it. I'm patiently letting you do Face Jam stuff. Yeah, and thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. Like, I'm a bit worried that I might get too preoccupied with this project to work on that project. But I still want to help out with that project though. It's fun watching you Face Jam. That's good. It's good here. But yeah. What else was I gonna say? I think teaching is really nice. It's nice to what's the word? Share your knowledge. It helps reinforce your knowledge as well. That's one thing I always hear. Like, the best way to learn something is, or to like verify that you have learned something to a good level, to a significant level, is to teach other people about it. And also it, you know, makes you feel valued. It's nice. It makes you feel like you're doing something good for the world that is having an impact on someone. And so that's what I hope my content can do for some people, somewhat. Remember to have a plushie on your desk. When you learn something new, teach your plushie to knowledge to lock it in. Lock in, get it twisted. But yeah, I guess, yeah, I haven't thought of it in that way, like rubber duck debugging, when you describe your problem to the rubber duck on your desk. Maybe you could do that for like teaching as well. Hello, Felix Valenti. Twist it, bop it, pull it. Anyway, yeah, I've been thinking for not quite 3 hours, but almost 3 hours. I've been yapping for almost 3 hours, and I think I need to take a break. Otherwise, the quality of the stream will suffer, and also my sanity will suffer. So I do want to, you know, implement this soon-ish. When is a good question? That's a good question, though. But I also want to play the... So, let's see. If I'm juggling these three things, right? Priority 1, playing the other Game Jam games because the judging period is almost over. So I want to say tomorrow we'll probably be playing the Phase Jam game stream. And then Sunday... or really, maybe whenever Chase is free, we can do more of the League of Legends stuff. I was worrying a bit about the growing complexity of it. If we want to, you know, if we're like moving it to Electron and looking at all that other stuff. I'll have to like review my notes too to see where we were, because it's been a while. Playing the other entries could give you a couple of pointers for expanding this one. More ideas. Yeah, hello Ashers. Yep. The ideas doc. I shared the ideas doc in the Discord, the Paulino Gaming Discord, which is linked in the YouTube description. And that is also where I'm planning to have more communication and more back and forth regarding the game to help out with like pushing change, like giving out changes. So yeah, pushing changes and then getting feedback on those changes and like having that rapid iteration cycle. That's what I'm hoping for with the Discord. So that's what that is there for. Feel free to join. Link in the YouTube description. I don't know if anyone's on Twitch. If anyone's lurking on Twitch, hello. Sorry for mentioning the YouTube description so much, but the Discord's also in my Twitter, so there's that too. Anyway, is there anything else to stream? No? No? Alright, time for parasocial name reading. Thinking about, so next stream is gonna be the Phase Jam games, because I want to play them, I want to rate them. And then Sunday, maybe something. I don't know yet. I kind of also want to play some games straight up. Just it's been a while since I've done a gaming stream. But also this Phase Jam project. This this Autobattler project has me excited, so that's good too. And also, I don't want to completely forget about our league chat overlay, Chase. The league chat overlay with Chase. So, yeah. Yeah, it'll be something. It'll be something. It'll be something. Anyway, thank you all for coming. It's time for the parasocial name reading, but also thank you, lurkers, before I read the names of the chatters. Thank you, lurkers, for keeping this on your second monitor while you do something else that is more important than this, or maybe less important. Thank you, because I was theory crafting... Which stream? I forget which stream I started thinking about this, but like, second monitor viewers are probably the strongest, the most important viewers, because they probably have the highest average view duration. Judging from my habits watching a stream on the second monitor as opposed to the first monitor. So that is very beneficial. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for stream. I'll try to catch the next one a bit earlier. Thank you, Will Sleep Snot. Yippee! Yippee! Alright, parasocial name reading. Thank you, Idoni. Thank you, Chase Rabbit. Thank you, Ice Fox. Thank you, Cielo Jose. Thank you, Selenix Winter. Thank you, Gracie Pinera. Thank you, Doctor Who Is This? Thank you, Magosis. Thank you, Pom Pom. Thank you, Amanda Splats. Thank you, Islef. Thank you, Tempai. And thank you for helping out with the art on the game. Thank you, Will Sleep Snot. Thank you, Traub. Thank you, Felix Valenti. Thank you, Ashers. Thank you, Morgie Angel Cakes. Thank you, Real Emo Thug Life. Okay, I've been Neopolino. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I also want to grow my channel. I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want both. I want to appreciate my current audience and also strive for growth in my audience, because it is very important to the future of this channel, to my future financially as an indie dev. It is very important to the future of this game as well, and also my motivation to working on this game. Okay, so I hope I'm not alienating anyone by, you know, being very concerned about growth in numbers here, but thank you. Thank you. Give this light your subscribers love. Order. Order. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I don't do numbers, please, please, please. There's your interaction reminder. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Help me hit monetization, please. That is, when I was talking about brainworms earlier, not having hit monetization yet is another big part of that, and my concern with whether or not YouTube is actually going to give me monetization. So not knowing that is causing me a lot of stress and anxiety, but hopefully we'll get there soon. We seem to be on track, so hopefully. Disliking, not commenting, removing my subscription. You can do that too if you want. You can do that too. If you want to see me suffer, you can do that too. But thank you. Don't forget to dislike, unsubscribe. Make me suffer. Make me suffer. I have not suffered enough for my art. But really, I think I need to be more detached from the external validation things. Your number one auntie. Liking, commenting, following, fuck that guy. Chase out here giving engagement through anti-engagement. Hell yeah. Yeah, we appreciate anti-engagement too, because that's also good for numbers. All publicity is good publicity, as they say. Yippee! Suffering builds character. Angel Cake's wishing. Bro. We're hunting Chase. It's rabbit season. Duck season. It's wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Okay. Am I in any stream yet? Hold on. Let's see. Who's live? Who's live? I've been like wrapping up for for a bit now. Who's live? Don't listen to that dumb as hell bird. Okay. Okay. Oh. Alright. Kara's playing a Gooner shooter. Kara's playing Beyond Citadel. That's a cool game. I'm gonna... kinda interested in that too. Anyway. Year of the Neo! Neo season! Oh no, they're gonna hunt me! They're gonna take me out behind the shed and hold the other me! Alright. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We've been wrapping up for a while. Year of the Neo! It's the Year of the Neo. Oh man, what year is it? It's like Year of the Snake, right? In the Chinese Zodiac. Chinese Zodiac. What was it? We had Rabbit, then Dragon, and then... Where is it? I'm so distracted. Rabbit, then Dragon, then this year's Year of the Snake, right? Yeah. It was my year and I wasted it. Yeah. Yeah, you weren't rabbit VTubing during the Year of the Rabbit. Oh my god. Okay, alright, it's time. Thank you all again for coming. This has been Neo Paulino. Keep myself safe. Yep, stay safe. Stay safe, everyone, especially with the fires in California. Alright. Oh, and thanks, Will Sleep's not on Twitch. Alright. Good night. Alright. Thank you, everyone. Unofficial raid. Again, I'm not monetized. I would like to be monetized soon. This is one more reason that I care about growing. So here's the unofficial raid. Also, we raided on Twitch already. All right, here's the unofficial raid on YouTube. Click the link if you want. All right, okay, bye. Otsu Neo. Otsu, bye.